Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this very special Noble Dram episode. It is Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, you fool?
Yep.
I am too. All right, let's get to it.
Welcome back, everybody. Aaron and Gavin here for the Noble Dram. Today is a special day. By this point, I assume everyone else has also eaten their fill. Belly's clear full, tryptophan starting to kick in. And so what we wanted to do tonight is talk about what happens after dinner, right? That's where you go put your feet up, you turn the game on, and you put a glass in your hand. So tonight's episode's about after dinner drinks. To start that off, we went ahead and put together some cocktails. Nothing seems to go quite as wonderful on a cool fall day, even if you're in Houston, Texas, and it's not really that cold, and it's certainly not feeling fall-esque. But nothing goes better after Thanksgiving dinner for sure than a drink in your hand. So I'm drinking a classic cocktail called the Revolver. And Gavin, what do you have?
I have the Penicillin.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. A delicious one. So those who are interested in these two cocktails, stick around at the end of the episode. After the credits, we'll have a little bit of a video shot of us putting these things together for you guys. We'd love for you to join us. All right. So we've been drinking cocktails too long.
So with that being said,
Yeah, let's get to drinking. Let's get to drinking whiskey.
let's get to getting.
Let's put
Let's
this one over here.
All right. Yeah. All right. So for our first pour tonight.
All right. So I should preface. The task was Gavin and I were each pick a bottle that we thought was after dinner appropriate.
Yes.
So coming from a mindset, Billy's clear full, probably shouldn't put any more calories into my body, but here we go. Waistline be damned.
Waistline be damned.
I love it.
I like it.
All right, what'd you pick for us, Gavin?
So this one, special bottle. This is the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked.
Oh.
Yes.
None of that single oak nonsense.
I know you're not quite the oaky guy.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
We're gonna find out.
So this bottle.
Hold on. I've got this problem with no whiskey in my
Dang it again.
You got to fix that.
Gotta fix that. All right. So let me give us a little pour here. Oh, did you hear that? I like that.
That's a good one. Oh, another Gavin pour.
That is not that bad. That is not that
Another
bad.
Gavin pour. It's almost to the top of the glass.
Been there, done that one.
All right, tell us about the bottle. Sorry.
So this bottle specifically hails from Brown's Bottle Shop out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Brown's Bottle Shop.
Not to be confused with those other Brown bottle shops.
Yes,
This is the Browns.
And if you're wondering where my fascination with bottle shop comes from, it is this store right here.
I just always assumed it was an homage to your times overseas when you lived in Scotland. I just assumed that's what they called them there. But you're telling me this started at Brown's?
At Brown's.
No, wait, where is Brown's?
Brown's.
If you tell me Brown's is in Scotland, that would really.
No, it is in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It is my time. Well, I grew up near and around Stillwater, but also went to college at Oklahoma State.
Braggart.
Braggart. And so
college boy.
So Brown's at the time I was in college was one of probably the premier bottle shops in the area that had anything kind of on the more premium side of bottles. So if you ever wanted to, get something really fun and nice, that's where I would go. And so I picked this bottle up about a year ago or so. Not quite that long, maybe 9 months ago or so. So this is their pick. So give you a little bit of backstory on Woodford Reserve.
Okay.
They're located in Versailles, Kentucky.
Sounds fancy. Sounds French.
Not Versailles.
Oh, never
but
mind.
Versailles.
Never mind. Less French.
Less French. It is the state's oldest distilling site. Not the oldest necessarily distillery, but
so it's kind of a little carryover from the episode where we talked about Lagavulin, right?
Right.
The distillery started, but there was actually records to suggest they'd been distilling there for quite some time. So same thing in not Versailles, Kentucky.
Yes, and Japan.
It's right down the road.
Just right down the road. For
those who don't know, go back and watch the early episodes.
Yeah, that's a nod to I think the first episode. It is the production started in 1812 and it's currently owned by Brown-Forman.
Oh yeah, big guys.
So it took a while for Brown-Forman to acquire it, not meaning that it took a long time for them to buy it, but that the long history of ownerships kind of passed hand to hand. Brown-Forman owned it at one point and then sold it to I believe a local farmer, and then bought it back. And so there was a little back and forth ping-ponging.
So was there, maybe you didn't get this far into the research, but was there a guy named Woodford at one point that was tied to the distillery?
That's a good question. I don't really know.
Like Dave Woodford?
Yeah. I'm not.
Probably Buford.
Woodford.
Oh, that's a name.
2003 was the time that kind of Woodford's first on-site distillate was bottled.
Okay.
After reopening. That was in 2003.
Oh, that's recently there had been a shutdown.
Yes.
Oh. I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And then in 2005, it was officially renamed the Woodford Reserve Distillery. So there were different names, different ownerships, all that fun stuff.
In my head, Woodford has been around as a name forever. I guess I didn't realize it was quite so new.
Yes.
Look at that. So learned something new. All right. I guess my work here's done.
Yeah.
See you guys.
That was a bit of brief research and history of it. So this specific expression, we're sitting at 90.4 proof.
90.4.
Yes.
Oddly specific.
So on the lighter end of the spectrum for what we're going to probably be sipping today.
So I would say the 45 ABV, 90 proof, that seems to be a pretty reasonable wheelhouse for most everything. The cocktails we were drinking had all sorts of stuff diluting it down.
Well, fair.
They were much lower.
Good point. And what I would say about this specific bottle is I think it pairs really, really well with kind of the dessert side of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Right. So your thought is you picked an after dinner drink that you think would pair well with dessert.
Yes.
Hard to argue with that rationale.
Yes.
Not sure I completely agree that you hit the mark, but I like the rationale. We're
going to let them be the judge of it.
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense.
So, I have a question.
Okay. I better put my pen down. This sounds like a good one.
Since we're talking about, we just ate a ton of turkey. And
I feel like I ate a very reasonable amount. It wasn't a ton. I'm a big dude though. So maybe what's reasonable for me is not a lot for somebody else.
We'll figure it out.
Fair enough.
So what is your favorite or best way to prepare a turkey?
Yeah. So, as a bit of a novice cook, I won't say chef. I think that oversells it significantly. I like to tinker in the kitchen.
Do you have help in the kitchen?
Oh,
because that could be your sous chef, and then you're the chef.
I think I fall under the classic guy role in the kitchen, where I'm like, hand me the protein, and I'll take care of this, and then my wife takes care of everything else, and then everyone applauds and thanks me for cooking dinner. I think that's really the way it works, right? So yeah, I've been in charge of the bird for a number of years. I grew up in a house that did the classic roasted bird in the pan in the oven, right? You you got the baster out and you poured the juice over the top. And I won't say there's anything wrong with that, but the first time I ever tried a fried turkey, I was like, well, I'm never oven roasting a bird again. I mean, that's just ridiculously. And I went on, I think like a lot of people, about 20, 25 years ago, and we fried all sorts of stuff in the driveway that day. But I'll be honest, ever since I bought a smoker, I smoke my turkeys. Probably the big debate now that rages in my family and then amongst my friends is, do you leave the bird whole or not? I don't leave the bird in its entire shape, right? The full bird. I've got friends that stuff them full of all sorts of stuff. I'll do it with chickens, but turkeys are just big and it takes too long in my mind. So I split them. The term in the barbecue world or the cooking world is spatchcocking, where you remove the back.
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, you heard me. I spatchcock birds every Thanksgiving. But you remove the back spine, crack the breastbone, and lay it out flat. Just because it has a much more even thickness, it cooks much more evenly.
Okay.
Keeps you from drying out the breast by the time you get the dark legs and thighs done. So that's kind of the way I do it. I do a lot of herb butter and olive oil all over the outside. I season them up. I brine the birds for a couple days beforehand. But in my mind, you cannot beat a well-smoked turkey. I love my mom to death, and I hate the notion to say anything that might even be construed as negative towards her. But a couple years ago, we went home for Thanksgiving, and she was all excited to make the bird. And I said, well, yeah, I'd be happy to smoke it for you. And she said, oh, no. Her mother and her mother's mother always made it in the oven. That's the way she does it. And I was like, yeah, but it's better the other way, Mom. And so Mom got a little big in her britches and told me that I was wrong. And so we went and bought 2 turkeys and we cooked one.
Of course you did.
She oven roasted.
Of course
she oven roasted and I smoked. And I will be honest, there was not leftovers from my bird. Just saying. The crowd had spoken. No, actually,
I feel like
afterwards, Mom came up and actually said to me, she said, I actually think she actually thought that my bird was better, which was a huge honor. I mean, it's like that day when your dad puts his arm around you, calls you a man, and lets you drink a beer with him. Like that was my moment with my mom when she said I could cook a bird better than her. So sorry, Mom. All right, sorry. Okay, so you've been sniffing and tasting and stuff, but before we get to the notes, I actually have a question for you. It's easy, and I think it's easily debated when it comes to what's the best way to cook a turkey. But ultimately, cooking turkey is just a small part of the turkey process. My question to you is, if you flip this, what is your favorite way to eat turkey? Is there one you're like, well, that just tastes better? Whether you cook it that way or not. Some people don't have a smoker and you can't smoke a bird right. I get it. But is there that one that you're like, best turkey I've ever had was made this way?
Well, your question was, what is my favorite way to eat a turkey?
And it should be the way I cook it. That would be the nice thing to say, Gavin.
My first instinct is to say with my mouth.
Oh my Lord! Oh my Lord! I was right in the middle of the sip. Oh. I'm lucky that didn't come up my nose. Oh man! All right, I'm going to need you to back down off that little hill and take this a little more seriously. Come on now.
Sorry, folks.
I've got like a 13-year-old nephew who's going to think that's the funniest thing he's ever heard.
Excuse me. Smoked. I'm a smoked turkey guy. Much like you, I grew up with a family that cooked a turkey in the oven. I love everyone.
You love everyone?
I love everyone. I love my family that prepared the turkeys and everything.
Except for those 3. You know who you are.
Those 3.
You know who you are.
But when I had my first smoked turkey, which actually was since we've been in Houston, that was like a game changer for me. Like, I've had smoked turkey on sandwiches, but like having a bird prepared, smoked There's nothing like it. I love it. That's the long and the short of it is smoked.
So when the platter comes by, and you get to pick turkey off the board, are you a white meat or a dark meat guy?
I'm a white meat guy.
Oh, you like it dry, huh?
No,
if done right, it shouldn't be. That's my argument.
Shouldn't be.
That's my argument.
Yep.
All right. So
what do you get on the nose?
So I know this is going to sound really stupid, but oak. No, it is oaky. It's double oaked. You expected it, right? I get that, but there's a little vanilla, just a very subtle hint of baking spice. Like I almost think nutmeg or allspice.
Mm-hmm.
That feels fall and festive. I get where your head was at with this, but the oak in this one is pretty pronounced. It gets even oakier when you take a sip. That's the part that I'm kind of struggling to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
How about you? What are you getting on the nose?
Obviously get the oak, vanilla, caramel, the baking spice kind of that you were talking about. I got more of like a slight cinnamon on it.
Okay, I can see that. Not full-fledged pumpkin spice, but kind of heading that direction.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
Starbucks should make a double oak latte.
I drink it all day long.
I don't even like coffee, and I start drinking that nonsense.
So yeah, that's
on the palate though. Is it the same thing, just bigger? Because that's kind of the vibe I was getting.
I got.
I don't know if I got anything new on the palate. Let me put it that way. I think everything I had on the nose, I just got more of that on the palate.
I got a little bit of cherryness to it, like a chocolate-covered cherry, almost. Because I feel like
I think you have different whiskey in your glass if you got chocolate-covered cherries on that.
I feel like there's a creaminess to it, and so it's like almost like those chocolate-covered cherries that you get at right around this time between Christmas or Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Those cordial cherries?
Yeah.
Royal Lane cordial cherries?
Yeah.
As a kid, we bought a box for Mom every year for Christmas.
Yep.
Because we believed they were Mom's favorite things. I don't actually recall Mom ever eating one.
We did the same thing with my dad.
We always got. I don't know if she ever ate them.
Yeah.
But we were convinced Mom loved them, and we bought her a box every year. The finish is where it gets different for me. The finish, it does have this moment of sweetness right at the beginning of the finish. And then immediately turns into this bitter, like pecan and walnut kind of bite. It reminds me a lot of the sharpness of not the delicious sweet part of pecan pie, but the bitter pecan part of pecan pie, right? And if your thought process here is this pairs with dessert, I can see where this starts to align.
That is exactly why this is my Thanksgiving after dessert sipper.
All right, so this was your bottle, so I guess that means I have to give a number first, right?
Yes.
I hate doing this. It's easy to give scores when you love them. It's harder when you have to give somebody bad news.
Oh, here we go. By the way,
the test came back positive.
By the way, I knew that this was where this was going to go. I struggled bringing this because
no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Part of the fun of a whiskey journey and a whiskey exploration is you're going to push. If you don't find yourself taking sips of things you didn't enjoy, you haven't pushed the envelope hard enough. That's my right.
Good point.
Get out there and try something different. Some of them you'll love, some of them you won't. Right. That's just kind of part of the experience. The number for me, I hate. So we don't do this often enough, right? Anything under 60 is undrinkable. Anything in the low 60s or in the 60s would imply I would only drink it if somebody else bought it. The 70s begin to imply I would pay money for it. 80s are in the I need to have a bottle in my collection. And the 90s are these are exquisite. This is something special to be cherished. That's my premise of scoring. In that regard, I don't know as if I would buy this, which unfortunately puts this in the 60s for me because it has to be down in the, like somebody else has to buy it for me. And it feels so low compared to some of the other numbers I've given out. Because I've given out 70s for rock gut whiskeys in previous episodes. So I will say, I'm going to be gracious. If we were in a bar and this was their premium selection, and this was a pour of this was $6, and the other stuff was $4, I'd probably pick this over some of those rock gut kind of things. I'm giving this one a 71. I feel like I should put it in the 70s. Just we're friends. I'm trying to be nice.
No. I want you to be honest.
No.
If it's a 60 bottle for you, it's a 60 bottle.
No, I'm sticking with 71.
71.
I'm sticking with 71.
Okay. All right.
Just because it'd have to be cheap for me to pay for a glass. Let's just put it that way. It'd have to be on special. And there would have to be nothing else better at that same price point.
Okay.
So that's as low into the 70s as I think you get. I'm at a 71.
Okay. All right. Because I'm
expecting your number to be much higher.
Because I own this bottle. I enjoy it. It's my pick for Thanksgiving. I'm sitting at an 82.
Gavin, 82. All right, that's fair.
Yeah. It's at a point where obviously some things that we've tasted, as Aaron mentioned, were on the very low spectrum of things, but we gave them a pretty fair, or not a fair.
I think we were. My argument is we were scoring against the competition setting on the table.
Fair,
right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think if we went back to the Evan Williams, Jack Daniels number 7, and Jim Beam White Label episode, we would all agree that we don't want to pay money for those in a bar, unless those are the only bottles available at the bar, and then we now know which one we would pick.
Right.
It was the premise of that episode. So yes, being in the mid-70s there, mid-70s compared to what you were up against, right?
Right.
It's unfair to give a college entrance exam to a third grader, right? Like, that's just not fair. You judge third graders relative to third graders. Oh, my God, we're going to get in trouble for saying that kind of nonsense. If you are from the Jim Beam Distillery or Evan Williams or Jack Daniels, we're terribly sorry. We like other products from your distillery, for sure.
Yes. Also, to that note, I think people know where their products sit, right? Like,
you mean to tell me you don't think everybody over at Evan Williams is like, no, that Black Label, that's great whiskey. They're like, that's not going to make the cut for anything else. Let's just put a Black Label on it and send it out the door.
Right. So
I keep sipping it because I want to like it, Gavin. I really do. I want to like it.
All right. Well, what I think we need to do, I think we need to go to the next pour.
We need a better bottle, is what you're saying.
And then we can come back to this. That's what I think we need to do.
I think one final note on Woodford's Double Oak. It's a shame that Woodford's Double Oak is more expensive than their other Woodford product, because I think their other products are better.
Ooh.
I think standard Woodford's is better than the Woodford's Double Oak.
Okay.
That's my argument.
I think that's gauntlet thrown down. We need to have a Woodford Reserve, Double Oak, and then a double oak.
I don't know what that means. Quadruple oaks?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they do that.
They do.
Yeah, I've got a variety of different Woodford's releases. We could do a smattering of Woodford's for an episode. All right. We'll get it penciled in 2028. All right. This is where I get excited, because I get to flex my selection powers over you, because my selection is way better. I select the one, the only Kilchoman's PX Matured. This one happens to be not only beautifully presented in a beautiful cardboard box. I'll slide this out of the way so we can keep drinking. So, for those who are not familiar with Kilchoman, a deep sound.
That did have a deep one.
Deep one. These guys are on the island of Islay in Scotland. And if you caught last week's episode, you realize that that's where the greatest things ever made come from. This bottle is no different. So, Kilchoman is a heavily peated Scotch, right? You expect it to be heavily peated. It's everything else that goes on in the glass. So, normal releases from these guys do not use PX sherry. They often use Oloroso sherry. This one, however, is PX matured. Now, the 2021, which is the one we're sipping, was the first release of their PX matured series. They then subsequently released it again in 2023. There is optimism that 2025 will be another year for release of this. So I am giddy with anticipation. This one, unlike 2023's, was a smaller release. There's only 33 barrels. Well, sorry, 33 casks. A total of 12,000 bottles made. 9 of those barrels aged their entire life in PX sherry. The rest, the 22 remaining barrels, 24 remaining barrels, I should be better at math, were finished in PX sherry.
Okay.
So they aged most likely in ex-bourbon barrels, although they don't specifically say, but they do say that they were finished for about 12 to 18 months in PX sherry.
Okay.
So those who are not familiar with PX sherry is very, very, very sweet. Very rich, very dark, very deep. The best way I can think to describe PX sherry is if you took a box of sun-made raisins. Remember those when you were a kid? And you blended it into a beverage. They taste like a box of sun-made raisins. I find it exquisite. Sherries, specifically PX sherries, are a classic after-dinner sipper. That's where my mind went. I said, let's go find us a whiskey that has been married with a classic after-dinner drink to make it an after-dinner whiskey. So this bottle comes in at 47.3% ABV.
Okay.
And right off the bat, it is classic Kilchoman, right? So Kilchoman's a very small little distillery, really kind of focuses on this idea of being grain to glass. All of the byproducts from the distillery actually go to either feed animals in the area or get spread back onto the fields as fertilizer and water to help grow crops that ultimately gets harvested as barley, which get hauled right back into the distillery and made into more whiskey, which I think is a wonderful mindset. So that being said, great television where we just sit and sniff glasses. All right.
On the nose.
Yeah, what are you getting on the nose?
Obviously, you get that smoky peaty.
So much smoky.
It's so good. So
but there's more to it there, though.
Yeah. I get a bit of you're gonna make fun of me.
If you say cherry cola, I will.
No, it's kind of like it's a grass. It's a grassy. It's almost like a root. Like if you're out gardening and you're
tilling soil.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I absolutely get that. Kind of that earthy mineral.
Yes. So as we're going through this, and we can get back to it here in a few minutes, but for Thanksgiving, I think we should kind of have a rapid fire.
Let's play a game.
Yeah,
play a game.
We've done this previously, and I think it's just a really fun way to, one, for y'all get to know us and we get to know each other a little bit. So I've got 5 questions picked out.
All right. So we should explain to the audience the rules for 5 rapid questions, right? No, rule number 1, there's 5 questions. It makes sense.
What?
Number 2 is they have to be fast. No long, drawn out questions. And more importantly, no long and drawn out answers. I'm mostly talking to myself. This is me reminding myself, don't go droning on and on and on with my answers. And I don't know the questions Gavin's going to ask. Gavin does not know the questions I'm going to ask. I'm going to let Gavin go first. For those who don't know, the first spot is easier here because Gavin only has to come up with 5 questions. I have to come up with more than 5 questions in case Gavin asks me one of the questions I have on my list. I have to strike it out. So it does make the challenge a little more difficult for me, but that's okay. I spent days preparing for mine.
Days and days and days.
And I actually had several questions I thought, ooh, too long. Shorten that. Mm-hmm. So some of my questions are really just like 3 words with a at the end to let you know it's a question.
So when I started coming up with mine, I think I had a list of like 20 or 30 questions and then had to narrow them down. So I fear Gavin's questions are going to feel more like an oral exam when you're in college and you have to get up and extemporaneously speak on a topic. That's what I'm fearful for. I think you just called me a bit of a nerd.
Yeah, no.
Which is fair.
I should apologize if that's the way it came across because I didn't mean a bit of a nerd. I mean full nerd.
Full-fledged.
Full nerd.
Here we go.
All right, give me 5.
You ready?
All right, number 1.
What is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Oh man. I'll say pumpkin pie.
I'm not going to write it down because we got this. So okay.
No. I'll say pumpkin pie because it's the only time of year you get it.
Okay, pumpkin pie. Next one. Number 2. If you were a side dish, what would you be?
Man, I love stuffing. Which I shouldn't say stuffing because we don't stuff in the bird. I love dressing. Dressing. My mom's dressing recipe, which I'm sure was her mom's recipe, came on down the line. Absolutely phenomenal. Number 3. I'm trying to be rapid.
Leftovers or actual meal?
I don't think there's anything quite as good as the turkey sandwich that has cranberry jelly and stuffing and gravy poured inside. That sandwich might be one of my favorite meals of the entire year. I'm going to say leftovers over the main meal.
Okay. All right. Do you prefer to sit down dinner or mingle in appetizers? Yeah.
I will say the amount of food I want on my plate, there's no wander around with the plate in my hand. I'm a sit down and eat guy.
I love it. All
Number
right.
5.
Number 5. Is it acceptable to start listening to Christmas music before Thanksgiving?
Ooh, I'm going to say music, no. Understanding that there are already Christmas lights on the outside of our house. The guy came a couple of weeks ago and put them up, and my wife loves Christmas lights, and so they've been on the day he hung them. We've had Christmas lights on.
I love it.
Since then, so
I love it.
Yeah, but music feels too much to me.
No Mariah Carey right now.
No, God no. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time to get into the full-fledged Christmas spirit. Let's at least get through the football games today.
All right. I love it.
5 questions. That was a good one.
Right.
Are we fast?
Yep, I think so.
Stop the clock. Oh, man, we nailed it. Right on time.
Okay. All right. What are your 5 to me?
No. Hold up. Before we do my 5,
I
want to talk a little bit about the whiskey again.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Put your nose in there. Take some sips. And I want you to tell me what you taste. What's the palate got for you? Because I expect more sherry than I think I got. With the name like PX Matured, I expected a little sweeter. I think it's there, but I don't think it's as prominent. The peat still carries the day.
The peat carries it through. I think it does have some sweetness to it. It's got a bit of that rootiness that we were talking about on the nose. I think that still carries through. I think there's some pipe tobacco a little bit in there.
I was just singing tobacco. You said fruitiness. Like, I wanted to say raisins, but I don't think raisins is it. I think this is more like dried figs or prunes. Like, it's darker than grapes or cherries. For me, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
No.
Interrupt. That's what I do.
Totally fine. No, I think it's I do get that. It's almost like I want to say like almost like a black cherry. A little bit of
Like a currant?
yeah,
Yeah,
something.
I can see that.
Something along those lines.
I won't claim to be a currant connoisseur. We did a vacation a few years back, and we were wandering around in Alaska, and like all of these kinds of things just grow wild out there. And the guide was telling us, "Oh, stop, try this. Those are red currants, and these are black currants." And all of a sudden, all these whiskey tastings that I'd been to that talk about the flavors of currants, I was like, "No, they're absolutely right. I totally get that now." I don't think they grow in our climate.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think so. All right. So you're just going to have to trust me when I say it tastes like currants, because you can't get them down here.
All right.
They're currently unavailable.
All right.
Ding.
All right. You want to
my 5 questions?
Hit your 5.
My 5 questions.
All right.
The good news is not a one of them you gave me were on my list. So I actually got a lot.
Kind of scared.
I have to pick my top 5.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
It's Thanksgiving. You're sitting down, big family feast. Turkey or ham?
Turkey.
Turkey. All right. Turkey. Turkey it is.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
All right. I already talked about that one. Do you call them sweet potatoes or yams?
Neither.
Neither?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. I'm not writing that down. That's ridiculous. All right. After dinner, you got pie options. Pecan, pumpkin, probably the 2 most common. Give me any other one. What's your pie choice post-meal?
Chocolate pie.
Whoa. You're a pudding guy.
It's a family favorite. It is a family favorite.
All right. Friday morning. Tomorrow morning. Are you getting up to go shopping or are you sleeping in?
Neither.
You get up early and just sit around and do nothing?
We get up early and we drive to the beach.
You go to the beach on Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yep. We get away from the crowds and the consumerism. My family and I, we jet down to Galveston and hang out on the beach.
All right. One last rapid question, right? If my math works all right. This is number 5. It is time to eat. Do you pass your plate and have somebody scoop it for you? Do you pass the platters around the table? Or do you take your plate over to the counter and fill it up and come back and sit down? What's your preferred serving method?
I want to go get everything that I want. So that means
you're a buffet guy.
I want to go. Yeah, I want to go grab it.
Get your scoop yourself.
Yeah.
Go down the line.
I want to get the massive thing of potatoes or taters.
Taters.
Or potatoes.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. For my Lord of the Rings fans out there. Yeah. So I like to go get what I want and get as much as I want.
Are you a 2-plate guy or 1-plate guy?
1-plate guy.
I grew up in a family that had like the regular plate and then the salad plate, and the salad never had salad. It was just other stuff that didn't fit on your regular plate.
So on that note, are you when it gets
no,
time
you
desserts?
already asked your 5. All right, fine. Give me.
Okay, so desserts. Do you use the same plate?
It's a separate run through.
All right,
it's a separate run.
All right, fair.
Anybody who puts pumpkin pie or whatever dessert on their main dish plate is missing an opportunity for more main dish. Get a separate plate and go back for dessert later.
I love it.
That's my argument.
I love it.
And it's right. So, I mean, I don't know how you can argue against that.
It just kind of depends for me. But
depends on what?
Depends on
You could say like it
how
just
lazy
depends.
I am. How lazy I am if I want to go get another plate or if I'm going to just go.
So no, this is an old Aaron move. You dish your own main dish, and then you sit around the table, and then the first person to get up and get dessert, you go, "Hey,
I get it.
Put me a slice of that on the plate, would you?" And you don't have to get back up because at this point, I'm a little nervous getting up. You've unbuttoned your pants at that point in the meal, anyways, right? Like I don't need to be getting up and showing off how much belly overhang I got going on.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, let's get back to the whiskey. All right, so we've talked about nose, we've talked about palate. What do you get on the finish of this one?
I think the smoke obviously follows through.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of like licorice.
Yeah. I totally get black licorice.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of like almost a saltiness.
Yeah.
Like a little maritime sea spray.
Love it.
My daughter, when she was little, the mascot of her elementary school. I know there's not a big thing, but they were the killer whales, and so she got way into whales, and she used to talk about humpback whale spray. And now every time I hear sea spray, I think like, oh, that's like some whale spit that out. Oh God.
What was your elementary school mascot?
We were the Panthers.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say something else. We were the pandas, and that's where
the pandas.
The pandas, and I thought that's where you were going.
I'm not saying a panda couldn't hurt a dude, but there's nothing about a panda that's scary.
Yeah, well,
probably the problem with pandas, you're like they're so lovable and cuddable, and oh, let me get it, and then they maul you.
All right, what was your high school?
We were Indians. Politically correctness be damned. We were the Indians.
All right,
and hold up, they just renamed the high school. So grew up in a little town, right? And everything grew. And so they moved the middle schoolers to the high school, and then they built a new high school. So they renamed the middle schoolers from the Falcons to the Indians because everything already said Indians in that building. And then they built a new high school and named them the Indians too. So they're slowly becoming nothing but Indians in a little town out in western Kansas.
So we went from pandas, right? Cute, cuddly.
Koalas?
No. We were the demons.
Ooh. Distinctly not cute and cuddly.
Yeah, we went a totally different direction. Very controversial.
All right, we digress. And the problem
we
is
got things we got to do.
We haven't put a number to it. You need to give me a number to this one.
All right. I am setting
Gavin and Aaron numbers are as follows.
This is delicious.
I know.
I'm an 88.
An 88. All right.
I think I need this bottle.
Bad news. This is the 2021 release.
I know. I'm sitting here looking at the tag.
Only 12,000 of them ever made. I don't know if you can get. I bet we could still get you a 2023.
I think we know a guy.
I bet I know a guy. Man, you know how I hate to agree with you, but 88 feels like a pretty reasonable number. I think 89 is it's too high, and I think 87 is just a hair too low. I won't say it insultingly low, but just a hair too low. So I too am at 88.
It would make the DeLorean fly.
Yes, absolutely. Here's what I would like to point out. We both brought bottles today. You gave your own bottle an 82 and gave my bottle an 88. I think if there is anything to be said here is Aaron has won the Thanksgiving Day Challenge. I think that means I get extra Black Friday deals.
Well, I'm
probably going to get free shipping from Amazon for this.
That could happen. So first off, I think on this note,
yeah, let's talk about them. And by let's, I mean you, not us.
Yeah, we want to know what you think. Do you have either one of these bottles? And if so, please let us know in the comments. And if you don't and you want one of these bottles, let us know in the comments as well.
I'm not positive we can help, but we'd sure love to know.
We'd love to know. I know this bottle you can find, not specifically this pick, but you could find this in a lot of locations. So very easy.
We may actually be able to help you find that bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. I would love to try though. Would love to try.
But outside of all of that, we are very thankful for a lot of things this year. We actually didn't even talk about a lot of the things that we were thankful for.
No, you did that around the table before you ate, right?
But we are thankful for you.
We hope.
We are thankful for you, our loyal and loving viewers out there, our friends, our comrades in this fun thing that we call, our whiskey enthusiasts and nerds. And the Noble Dram.
So this has been a bit of a debate, and I know this wasn't on our little rundown list, but we've tried to decide what is the name of our listeners.
Ooh,
right? The Noble Dramers. We got a Dramets.
Yep, Dramets.
The Nobleman, which I kind of like, but that also feels a little gender specific. So we could have Noble Ladies. I don't know. If you've got a good idea, we want to hear that.
And we could have Ladies of the Dram.
Oh, that
and
risque.
men of the dram.
Yeah, no, lords, dukes, and
duchesses.
Yeah,
I love it.
We got a lot of ways to go with
Maybe sometime we're going to peek behind the curtain. There may be a Patreon coming at some point.
But most importantly, click subscribe and leave comments and let us know what you think.
Absolutely. And before we go, I've got a special little pour here. Although we had in our cocktail a little bit of wild turkey.
Oh, yeah.
This one is the rare breed. And I just feel like we can't have a Thanksgiving episode
without turkey.
Without some turkey.
Without turkey. So
here we cheers you and everyone out there. We hope you have a fun and safe Thanksgiving. Cheers.
And Solange. We want to thank you, our noble listener, for joining us.
We believe each whiskey has a story, and so do you. So give us your thoughts by leaving a comment.
And if you have a whiskey you'd like to see us share, let us know.
You don't want to miss a single episode, so subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And make sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to stay up to date on the Noble Dram.
And if you find watching us difficult, you can always listen to each episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
As always, be noble
and enjoy your dram responsibly.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. For those who are interested, I'm going to walk you through how to make both the Penicillin cocktail Gavin's enjoying and the Revolver cocktail that I'm sipping. So, for a Penicillin, we're going to start with 2 parts blended whiskey. Today we're using Dewar's 12, although any blended scotch, specifically unpeated blended scotch, will work. So, 2 ounces into the glass. A traditional Penicillin then gets 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. I understand fresh lemon juice would be better than bottled lemon juice. Unfortunately, I don't have any fresh lemons, so bottled lemon juice it is. And then the last standard ingredient is gingered honey. For this, we take honey on the stove with fresh sliced ginger and let it steep for about 20 or 30 minutes. And then strain the ginger back out. So you end up with a honey that has a ginger note to it. Now this one, because it's the holidays and we like the flavor of fall, this one we're doing with a twist. This has just a splash, about 1/4 ounce of a heavily peated Scotch whiskey. This one happens to be the Wee Beastie, which is a 5-year-old peated whiskey from Islay. Should give us just the right amount of kick. From there, simply pour over ice, stir, and serve. So for a Revolver, a twist on a classic old fashioned, normally we would start with a rye whiskey. But today's Thanksgiving. So today, we're going with turkey. Wild Turkey 101 for ours. We're going to start with 2 ounces of our whiskey. To that, we're going to add 1 ounce of an unsweetened coffee liqueur. You just want to make sure you're not using one of the sweetened ones. This one happens to be Café de Fuego out of Austin. It'll be our aromatic for this cocktail. Next, we're going to add 1 ounce of simple syrup. Now, this is a homemade simple syrup using 1 part water, 1 part sugar. We're using turbinado sugar because I like the way it gives a little bit deeper, richer flavors. And then in a traditional Revolver, we would use orange bitters. But today, being fall and we want to do something different, we're actually going to use grapefruit bitters on this cocktail. And on that, we're going to give it about 4 or 5 good dashes. Then simply stir. And serve. Happy Turkey Day, everybody.